Let me get the interpreter on the line.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Rafael Barrera, State Certified Court Interpreter, and I have been previously sworn.
Good afternoon. We have in front of
Your
us.
Honor, if you allow me just a moment to confirm the headphones, please.
Sure.
Your Honor, my system shows that we're connected. I'm not getting a response from the defendant. Deputy, are you able to hear my voice coming through the headphones? Because it shows that I'm connected.
We can hear you over the loudspeaker, but apparently it's not going through the headsets.
All right, Your Honor, we'll go ahead and do it over the loudspeaker. Thank you.
All right. Sir, state your name.
Caballero, por favor, dígame su nombre, despacio, voz alta.
Eliseo Díaz Díaz.
Clarification, Your Honor. Señor, repita su nombre, despacio y en voz alta.
Eliseo Díaz Díaz.
Feliceo Díaz Díaz.
Sir, you have been detained on a warrant for failure to appear
Señor, está siendo detenido debido a una orden de arresto por falta de comparecencia
for battery and domestic violence and criminal mischief.
por un cargo de agresión física, violencia doméstica y travesura penal.
I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Voy a designar las oficinas del defensor público para que los represente.
The issuing judge set bond at 0. It will remain at 0.
El juez que emitió la orden no le dio derecho a fianza y se quedará tal como está.
Thank you, sir. You can be excused.
Muchas gracias, caballero. Está excusado. And Your Honor, the interpreter could respectfully request to whatever extent you have a case number, if you could kindly provide it to the interpreter, please.
22MM1121AO.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Your Honor, did we put appearances on the record already?
Thank you for that. I did not. Appearances, please, starting with the state.
Cressy Tyner for the state of Florida.
Mescaline Eugene on behalf of the Office of the Public Defender.
All right, sir, state your name.
Caballero, por favor, dígame su nombre, despacio y hable fuerte.
Jordan Cruz Torres.
Jordan Cruz Torres.
All right, Mr. Torres, I have reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with grand theft third degree and another probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with petty theft.
Señor, he revisado el acta acusatoria y determino que existen indicios razonables por el cargo de hurto mayor, tercer grado, y otro que determina que existen indicios razonables para el cargo de hurto menor.
In addition to that, there is a third probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with grand theft.
Y además de eso, hay un tercer acta acusatoria de indicios razonables que determina que lo acusa usted de hurto mayor.
I do find probable cause.
Determino que existen indicios razonables
I appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
y yo voy a designar las oficinas del defensor público para que los represente.
I will stay bonds in each of the cases, 5,000, 5,000, and 500.
Voy a programar las fianzas en los cargos tal como están, 5,000, 5,000 y 500.
Conditions of your release will be that you'll have no contact whatsoever with your co-defendant, Yesnir Martinez Tamayo.
No se le va a permitir contacto en absoluto con su coacusado, el señor Yesnir Tamayo.
You will not return to any of the scenes of offense.
No puede regresar a ninguno de los lugares de los acontecimientos.
I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Y voy a designar las oficinas del defensor público para que los represente.
Thank you, sir.
Muchas gracias, caballero. In your honor, the interpreter could respectfully request a case number for this defendant, please.
It's going to be 23CF 9479.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
4995. 23 CF 9469.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Sir, state your name.
Caballero, por favor, dígame su nombre, despacio, voz alta.
Yesniel Martínez Tamayo.
Yesnier Martínez Tamayo.
Ahí.
All right, sir, I've reviewed
Yes.
probable cause charging affidavits. They charge you with grand theft ×2 and petty theft.
Yo he revisado las actas acusatorias, lo acusan a usted de 2 cargos de hurto mayor y 1 cargo de hurto menor.
I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Voy a designar las oficinas del defensor público para que los representen a usted.
I do find probable cause as to each, and bond will be stayed in the amounts of $5,000, $5,000, and $500.
Determino que existen indicios razonables y las fianzas se quedarán tal como están en 5,000, 5,000 y 500.
Conditions of your release will be that you will have no contact whatsoever with your co-defendant who is here in court previous to you.
Condiciones de su libertad, se le prohíbe en absoluto el contacto con su coacusado, el caballero que estuvo aquí presente antes de usted,
And Jordan Cruz Torres.
el señor Jordan Cruz Torres.
Sir, I will also add that you will not return to any of the scenes of the offenses.
Y también se le prohíbe que regrese a los lugares de los acontecimientos.
At the time of your detention and arrest, you were out on bond in case number 2023 CF 5166.
En el momento que usted fue arrestado, usted se encontraba libre bajo fianza en el caso 23 CF 5166.
I hereby revoke your bond in that case, and you will be held without bond in that matter.
Usted en este momento le voy a revocar esa fianza en ese caso, será detenido sin derecho a fianza en este momento.
Do you have any questions, sir?
¿Tiene usted alguna duda o pregunta, caballero?
Bueno, que esa orden de arresto que tenía no tenía noción de ella porque no me llegó ningún aviso a mi casa, un mensaje.
Well, I wasn't aware of an arrest warrant that had been put out because I wasn't notified. I didn't get anything addressed to me.
All right, thank you, sir. You may be
Gracias,
excused.
caballero. Está acusado. In your honor, the interpreter can be provided the case number for the reason that he's being detained.
23 CF 9468.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
23 CF 9480. 23 MM 4996.
Sir, state your name.
Caballero, por favor, dígame su nombre, despacio y hable fuerte.
Esteban Javier Ayala Rivera.
Clarification, Your Honor. Señor, necesito que me hable despacio y que me hable fuerte. Repita, por favor.
Esteban Javier Ayala Rivera.
Esteban Javier Ayala Rivera.
Sir, I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with driving while license suspended or revoked. I
Señor,
do
he
find
revisado la
probable
acta
cause.
acusatoria que le acusa a usted de conducir con licencia suspendida revocada. Determino que existen indicios razonables.
I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Voy a designar las oficinas del defensor público para que los represente.
Bond will be stayed in the sum of $500.
La fianza estará programada en $500.
Sí, yo tengo conocimiento que la licencia estaba suspendida y lo acepto.
Yes, I was aware that the driver's license was suspended, so
Sir,
I'll accept.
I will strike that from the record. I have appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Okay?
He
Thank you.
designado las oficinas del defensor público para que los represente usted. Muchas gracias. Madam Clerk, if you have a case number for the interpreter, please.
23 CT 4794.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk.
The next case number is 23 MM 4975.
Thank you very much.
Sir, state your name.
Luis Puertas.
Buenas tardes, caballero. Por favor, dígame su nombre despacio y hable fuerte.
Luis Puertas. Woman.
Luis Puertas.
Uh-huh.
Ajá.
I think
Yes.
just the victim needs the.
Yeah.
Is it just the victim that needs the interpreter? I don't know. How is that done when they're
Yes,
in the
please.
box like that and he's overhead?
Honor, you can just go ahead, with all due respect, you can just go ahead and address the witness, and I will interpret over the loudspeaker as I'm doing right now.
I just want to make sure she can hear you in the box. All right, ma'am, please state your name.
Señora, por favor, dígame su nombre, hable despacio y en voz alta.
María Alejandra Vinces.
María Alejandra Vinces.
Raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Por favor, levante su mano derecha para prestar juramento.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Usted jura solemnemente o afirma que el testimonio que usted dará será la verdad, toda la verdad y solamente la verdad ante Dios.
Sí, juro.
Yes, I swear.
All right, I'll ask you some questions in a moment.
Le voy a hacer unas preguntas en un momento.
Tell me your name.
Luis Puertas.
All right. So, Mr. Portes, I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter. All right. There is no bond that is currently set. Give me a moment. All right, ma'am, what is it that you want to tell me, if anything?
Señorita, ¿qué es lo que usted me quería relatar si es que hay algo que usted quiera decir?
Sí, vengo a alegar por mi esposo. Bueno, el día de ayer, como sale en la declaración, tuvimos una fuerte pelea donde las
Dijo,
cosas
yes, I'm here to speak on behalf of my husband. As it says in the statement, we had a very strong fight yesterday.
donde las cosas se salieron de control. Es por esa razón que yo decidí llamar a la policía
And things got out of control, and that's the reason that I decided to call the police.
para que un tercero pudiera poner el control. No he levantado cargos porque no considero que él lo merezca realmente, ya
And I
que
called the police because I wanted a third party to intervene and take control of the situation, but I haven't decided to file charges because I don't believe that he deserves it.
sí considero que él está pasando un problema emocional, más considero que él es un buen padre y un buen esposo y un buen hombre en general.
And I
Entonces,
know that he's going through some emotional problems, and I understand that. I also understand that he's a good father, a good husband, and just a good person in general.
Your Honor, can I ask her a few questions? Defense.
Señoría, ¿puedo hacer unas preguntas?
You may.
Are you in fear of
Adelante.
Mr. Puertas?
¿Usted teme al señor Puertas?
no.
No.
If something like this were to happen in the future, will you call 911?
Si algo semejante fuese a suceder en el futuro, ¿usted llamaría al 911?
Sí,
Do you want contact?
¿Usted desea tener contacto con él?
sí,
And
Yes.
do you still want to reside with him?
¿Y aún desea residir con él?
sí, no hay problema.
Defense has no further
No
questions.
problem.
Defense will be asking for no hostile contact, Your Honor.
State.
The state has no objection and no questions.
All right. Ma'am, I am going to go ahead and set bond in this matter. Does he qualify for pretrial release without monetary conditions?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so in light of the fact that it doesn't appear like you've got much of a prior history, sir, I'm going to release you to pretrial release without any condition, without monetary conditions, but you'll have the following conditions. I don't want the
Señor, ya
juvenile to have
usted-
contact, okay?
My apologies, Your Honor.
I will not allow contact.
The witness? Would you like me to interpret the conditions of release to the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay. No, ya debido a que usted no tiene antecedente penal, le voy a dar su libertad bajo el programa de libertad provisional que no exige que usted pague una fianza monetaria, pero tendrá las siguientes condiciones.
All right, ma'am, if this situation got to such a degree that law enforcement had to become involved, I find that it is a danger to the both of you at this point to allow any contact.
Bueno, ya que esto llegó a tal nivel que usted pensó que era necesario llamar a las autoridades, me parece que sería un peligro permitirle contacto a ustedes dos.
I will allow a one-time assist with law enforcement to return to the home for him to get some personal effects.
Voy a permitirle que regrese una sola vez a la residencia acompañado de un agente del orden público para que recopile sus pertenencias personales.
All right. Anything further, counsel?
Not from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you both. You can leave, ma'am.
Gracias a ambos. Se puede marchar.
The next case number is 23CF 9476.
Thank you, Madam
Felix
Clerk.
Oliver. Sir, state your name.
Caballero, por favor, dígame su nombre despacio en voz alta.
Diane Carolina Núñez Sánchez.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, just for clarification, will I be interpreting for the defendant or only for the witness?
Only for the witness, Mr. Interpreter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Could you please ask her to raise her right hand to be sworn in?
Señora, por favor, levante su mano derecha para prestar juramento.
Ma'am, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Señor, usted juro o afirma solemnemente que el testimonio que usted dará en el día de hoy será la verdad, toda la verdad y solamente la verdad ante Dios.
Sí.
Yes.
State your name, ma'am.
Por favor, dígame su nombre despacio y hable fuerte.
Diane Carolina Núñez Sánchez.
Yani Carolina Núñez Sánchez.
You can lower your hand, ma'am.
Puede bajar la mano, señora.
All right, Mr. Oliver, I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit. It charges you with aggravated assault, domestic violence, and domestic battery. Give me a moment. Okay. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter, sir. With respect to bond, I will establish bond in a moment. Ma'am, is there something that you want to say to the court?
Señora, ¿hay algo que usted quisiera relatarle al tribunal?
Sí.
Yes.
You may proceed.
Dígame.
Lo que pasó fue que ayer, bueno, la noche anterior a ayer, tuvimos una discusión y él se puso violento.
Well, what happened is that yesterday, well, it actually happened the night before, we had an argument and he became violent.
Me amenazó con asesinarme. Yo le dije que no me amenazara, que lo hiciera, que no le tenía miedo y se puso peor. Me
And he
agarró,
threatened to kill me. I told him I wasn't afraid of him. I told him not to threaten me, that if he was going to do it, go ahead and do it, that I wasn't afraid of him.
me agarró, puso frente con frente, me gritó en la cara, me hizo daño. Y al día siguiente,
He came face to face with me and he was screaming at me and he hurt me. And then the next day,
el siguiente día, me levantó por la mañana, le dije que quería hablar claramente, o sea, como personas civilizadas para aclarar lo que estaba pasando. Y él sacó un arma, me amenazó.
then the next morning I got up and I told him I wanted to talk to him in a civilized manner to clear things up, and then he threatened me with a weapon.
Yo dije que me iría, él me dijo que me subiera al auto, que él me iba a llevar, yo le dije que no quería irme con él, él me escupió, me lanzó saliva al rostro, yo me fui.
I told him I was going to leave, and then he said to get in the car that he would take me, and I told him that I told him I wasn't going with him, and then he spit in my face, and I left.
Yo llegué a casa, llamé a mi madre, bueno, y ella me dijo que no hiciera nada. Yo tuve terapia ayer con mi psicóloga, ella me dijo que lo mejor es que yo lo hiciera, que llamara a la policía.
Momentico. And when I got home, I called my mother. My mother told me not to do anything, but I had therapy with my psychologist yesterday, and she told me that the best thing for me to do was to follow through.
Y luego hablé con mi mejor amiga, que ella me dijo que la mejor opción es denunciarle, porque si me amenazó con asesinarme es porque lo iba a hacer. Y yo
And then later
realmente,
on, I talked to my best friend, and she told me that the best thing to do would be to file a complaint, because if he managed to threaten me with death, it was because he was willing to do it.
llamé a la policía y hice un reporte. Me preguntaron si quería presentar cargos y sí quiero presentar cargos porque
I
me
called
da
the police
mucho
and I
miedo
filed a
por
report.
mí, por mi familia.
Momentico. I called the police and I filed a report. They asked me if I wanted to file charges, and I told them that I did. I'm very afraid for myself and for my family.
All right, ma'am, do you wish to be heard any further on the conditions of bond?
¿Usted decide o desea opinar algo más sobre las condiciones de fianza?
No,
No.
All right, anything from the state of the defense before I proceed?
Fiscalía o defensa, algo que opinar antes que yo proceda.
No, Your Honor.
None from the defense.
All right,
No,
sir, previously established probable cause, appointed the office of the
Ya había
appointed the office of the
determinado
public
que-
defender to represent you.
razonables y designé las oficinas del defensor público para que los represente.
As to count one, I set bond in the sum of $15,000. As to count
El primer-
two, $500.
En el primer cargo voy a programar la fianza en $15,000. En el segundo cargo serán $500.
Conditions of your release will be that you not own or possess or have on or about your person a firearm or any ammunition.
Como condición de su libertad, se le va a prohibir portar o tener en su alcance armas de fuego o municiones.
Further conditions of your release will be that you will have no contact directly or indirectly with the listed victim in this matter. You will not come within 500 feet of her home or her employment or her vehicle.
Y como condición adicional, se le prohíbe contacto en absoluto con la víctima en este caso, sea directo o indirectamente. No se puede acercar a menos de 500 pies de su casa, de su persona o de su empleo.
I will not grant an assist in this matter.
Y no voy a permitirle que regrese en este caso.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Your Honor, can he get a one-time return for belongings?
I will not grant an assist in this matter, no.
Okay. One moment, please, Your Honor.
Mr. Interpreter, that is all for the Spanish cases. Did you give him that last case number? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Interpreter.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Have a good afternoon.
You too. Bye-bye. All right, next up, I have John Doe. Do we have a name for this gentleman? Sir, what is your name?
John Crawford.
John
Crawford.
Crawford, did you say?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying, John Crawford?
Yes.
How are you, Mr. Crawford?
Fine.
All right. All right, Mr. Crawford, you've been detained on a probable cause charging affidavit for resisting an officer with violence. Give me a moment. All right, sir, I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter. PTR, it looks like you don't have too much information on him.
We didn't have anything just due to, he was a John Doe, so we didn't have anything.
Okay. All right, well, he's indicated that his name is John Crawford. What is your date of birth, sir?
May 2nd, 1975.
May 2nd, 1975. How old does that make you?
It was,
That- Is that your date of birth? Because you don't look like you were born in 1975. What's your date of birth?
92.
92?
Mhm.
What's your real name? You're under oath, subject to the penalties of perjury to include contempt
James
of...
Robinson.
What's your name?
James Robinson.
James Robertson?
Yeah,
That's a whole different name than what you gave me before.
I know.
So I'm going to try you a third time. What's your name?
I just told you my name. The second one.
That is your name?
Yeah.
All right, and what is your real date of birth?
December 1st, 1992.
December the 1st, 1992. How old does that make you?
30.
How old?
30.
All right, so I have found probable cause. I've appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter, and a bond will be stayed at $1,000. Okay? All right, do you have any questions?
After this, can I, like, how long am I going to be in jail for?
You can bond out,
All right.
okay? But you can also talk to your office, the Public Defender's office, okay? Thank you. All right, Stephanie Davis? Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit. It doesn't charge you with prostitution or lewdness. I did find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
All right.
All right, I will stay bond in the sum of $500 with the condition that you not return to the scene of the offense. Office of the Public Defender is appointed. Thank you, ma'am.
Can I use the phone?
Lacey Charles. Lacey Charles, step on up.
I do have a PC argument for this case, Your Honor.
Are you Lacey Charles? All right. Sir, I reviewed, Charles Lacey, thank you. I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with aggravated assault on a person 65 years of age or older. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Sir, who are you?
I'm Charles Lacey, his father.
You're his father?
Yes.
Okay. All right, sir, could you raise your right hand to be sworn in? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
And state your name.
Charles Lacey.
All right, so before I take the probable cause charging, the probable cause argument, I'll hear from his father. Sir, what is it that you want to tell me about this matter?
My son Charles suffers from a bipolar disorder. He's lived with my wife and myself for the last 4 years. He's been stable.
Can you speak up a little bit for me?
Yes, he's been stable for the last 4 years. And yesterday morning we had an incident because he had a breakdown. Basically, it was a regular morning. Apparently, he was going to work and he was having some difficulty with money for gas. I offered, can I help? And just that, he snapped. And he did not ask for my help. So I basically said, you're disrespecting me, asked him to leave the house, started breaking furniture. And when he went outside, I closed the doors and he broke the windows. I do not seek to press any charges against him. I just like for him to get medical help.
So what kinds of medication was he on?
He's on at least 4 medication. I do not know the names of them, but
Okay.
I don't think he's taking them all right now.
So what do you expect to happen with respect to him coming back into your home?
I will have contact with him, but we'll make alternative arrangements for him, help him with a place. He will not come back in a home.
All right. And
But
that
he
would
has
seem
to
to
be
be a
in that
wise
medical
thing, that he
treatment.
would not come back into your home.
Correct. He won't live with us. We'll make alternative arrangement for him. We'll assist him with that.
Does he have a treating physician that he sees?
He gets treatment from the Lakeside Mental
Okay.
Facility. He did a whole program on it, and they have all his records and his meds.
Okay. All right. With respect to your argument as to probable cause, you may proceed.
On the affidavit, it just does not list the age of the alleged victim, but he's present to testify to his age, Your Honor. So that was just my PC argument.
All right. So I am going to find the probable cause for simple assault, okay? I'm not going to take any further testimony from the witness with respect to his age unless the state wants to inquire. Do you?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Given all attendant facts and circumstances. And PTR, does he qualify at all? Doesn't look like it. All right. I'm going to set bond in this matter in the sum of $500 with the following conditions, sir. There's also a probation. I'm sorry.
Trying to go to work. Thank you, Your Honor. God bless you so.
Sir, let me finish.
Sorry.
All right, so you have 2 probation violations that go along with this. I'm not going to take any action on those, okay? But I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen to me well. Within 24 business hours of your release, I want you to go back to Lakeside, wherever you have been getting your prescriptions from, and I want you to immediately go back on your prescriptions. Here's the second thing. You may not return to the Winter Garden address. Is it 1233?
I'm gonna go to a sober
1233
living.
Dunbrook Street.
Dunbrook? Okay, you may not return to 1233 Dunbrook Street in Winter Garden.
I'm gonna go to a sober.
Stop interrupting me, okay? I don't want you to have any contact whatsoever with your father, okay? No contact means no calling him, no asking other people to get in contact with him. No contact means no contact. I don't want you going back to 1233 Dunbrook Street, and I don't want you even coming within 500 feet, and that does mean driving by. I want you to be real clear on that because I'm giving you a significant break by not finding you in violation of your probation and holding you on no bond warrants with respect to those 2 things, okay? I want you to get back on your medications based on what your father has said, okay? That there was a time when you weren't decompensating. But if you violate those orders, I will not hesitate but to sign off on a no bond warrant and put you back in jail and have you stay in jail until such time as your cases are resolved. So I just want to impress upon you that I'm giving you a significant good faith break at this point in time. Do you understand that? All right. All right, and with respect to your father, it's disrespectful for you to interrupt him and tell him that he's lying, okay? This is your father. Don't let me catch you doing that again, at least, all right? All right, thank you. Thank you all. I'll ROR him on the VOPs and appoint the Office of the Public Defender on all of them with the special condition that within 24 business hours, he go back to his physician and start being compliant with his medications and no contact.
Yeah, probably.
We have Antonio Parkinson, who is next. All right, ma'am, raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right. State your name.
Angelica B. Sanganu.
I'm sorry?
Angelica B. Sanganu.
All right, thank you. All right, sir, tell me your name.
Antonio Parkinson.
Okay. Sir, I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit and charges you with battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Ma'am, you were his mother?
Yes.
What is it that you want to tell me?
Antonio is my son who I
Speak up,
love.
please. I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me better now?
Yes, I can.
Antonio is my son who I love dearly. For the last 10 years, he's been fighting schizophrenia and bipolar with depression and anxiety. It has been a really hard road. I have come to you guys several times to Baker Act to seek him help. I have become his payee. I got a lawyer to get him his benefits. I've done everything I can to support him and be by his side. But it has escalated to a point where I fear for myself and for my family. I take care of my 96-year-old grandmother who has dementia, and my mother has one kidney, and my son. And my daughter is 16 years old, and she's now afraid. I can no longer have him in my home. He has thrown bricks through the window. He has lifted up his hands to hit me. He has pushed me. He has crushed me with his, giving me bear hugs. And I continue when he goes into the hospital after a Baker Act to let him back into my home so that I can stabilize him and get him help with social workers from his Sunshine Insurance, which no avail. Something must change with our system on how we deal with people with mental illness, because he's a good kid. He's just confused and angry. And I need someone to help him. I don't know if they can put him in a mental hospital and evaluate him, not just for 2 or 3 days and then medicate him and throw him back out into society. He needs real rehabilitation. But I do not want him to come near me, as much as that pains me, because his father is passed and everyone has alienated him, and I am all that he has. But I can no longer do this, and so I'm asking your help for him.
Ma'am, I concur in some of the statements that you made, especially with respect to what's available for folks suffering from mental health problems. Does he, in fact, has he been diagnosed with some mental health concerns?
For the last 10 years.
What has he been diagnosed with, to your knowledge?
Schizophrenia, bipolar schizophrenia, affective with anxiety and depression.
All right. And it sounds like he's been medicated for those things before, and
he doesn't take the medication, and he doesn't allow me to get him therapy where they can fix the cocktail, where he feels more like himself instead of being doped up. He's a very intelligent man with a high IQ, and he could be doing so much more for himself if he would get on a program that would help him.
right. Ma'am, this is a criminal offense that he has been arrested for. And in criminal court, there is just not a lot of resources available for someone such as your son. My main priority is protection of yourself at this point in time, okay? So I can't respond to a lot of the concerns that you have. However, I do find that there is probable cause. You've indicated that you're in fear of him, so I am going to set some conditions of release, and those conditions of release are going to include that he not have any contact with you or come within 500 feet of your employment, your residence, your vehicle, okay? Again, I apologize that I don't have a lot of answers for you as to resources for you with respect to the issues that you've brought up. All right, so with respect to bond in this matter, I'm going to set bond in the sum. It's alleged as a DV battery, but I'm going to set bond in this matter in the sum of $1,500. Sir, I'm going to require that you not have any contact with your mother or come within 500 feet of her home,
What I do need to tell
vehicle, or her place of employment. With respect to his belongings, he has belongings there?
His car is broke down in front of my home, and that's where he's been sleeping, in his car.
I'll allow a one-time assist with law enforcement to collect personal effects, okay?
I have AAA, so I could wait down the street and have them tow it away.
That
And
could
I
be
honestly
something
think
that-
she
that's
needs
an
mental health, and I will never see her again.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Parkinson. Mr. Chesney, what do you have? I didn't see you over there, and I apologize. Are you a private attorney as well? Okay, well, just come on up to the bench and tell me what you guys have. Bring up Michael Thrasher, and give me a moment, let me have the other name. When you're able to bring up Michael Thrasher, or Thrasher, Thrasher, and Joseph Gomes, Gomes. He is? Okay. Then when you're ready, we'll give that back to me. We'll- All right, Mr. McChesney, when they have Thrasher up, we'll deal with him, okay? All right, the next one I have is Tyler Garrison.
Your Honor, this was reset from yesterday for a plea, for him to plead today, but I haven't been able to go over the offer with him.
Okay, do you want to reset it to tomorrow?
If I can quickly, because we reset from yesterday for a plea today, I didn't go over, I can quickly go over the
Okay,
offer with him
go
now.
ahead. Bring him on in.
Eugene, do you have the offer?
Yeah, I have the plea form right here from yesterday. Your Honor, at this time, he won't be able to enter into a plea. I do have mental health concerns, so we can go forward with like setting the bond conditions and so forth, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, sir, tell me your name. Can you tell me your name?
Garrison?
Okay. And Garrison, is your last name Hatch? Is that what it is, Hatch? Okay. All right. I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with trespass after warning. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter. With respect to the jail, could we please have him seen by mental health if he hasn't been previously flagged? I don't know who I would communicate with respect to that. Okay, I'm going to set bond in the sum of $100, conditions that you not return to the scene of the offense. Okay?
Am I leaving today?
I'm sorry, sir?
Am I leaving today?
Well, if you can bond out, you're leaving today.
I don't have the money to bond out.
Okay, well, talk to your public defender, okay? She's the young lady that's to your left, okay?
One moment, please, Your Honor. Your Honor, do you have any objections to releasing him on his own recognizance as to the trespass case?
I At this point, I do, okay? All right, thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Oh, the PTR sheets, this is Thrasher, right? Okay, if you wouldn't mind, that'd be great. All right, are you Kevin Ray Lister?
Yes.
Mr. Lister, I've previously reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit. Do you want me to state the charges?
Can we waive the readings, Your
All
Honor?
right. I will waive the reading of the charges. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, Mr. Lister. Mr. Lister, based on the nature of the cause, the charges, you will be held without bond, okay? Conditions, however, are that you have no contact with the listed victim and any witnesses while you're incarcerated, okay? So that means no telephone calls, no asking people to get word to, none of that nature, okay? All right, thank you.
Your Honor, quickly though, he was reset for today to get his own attorney. I don't know what changed from yesterday to today.
I don't have an attorney
Okay.
here in the room, so
Okay, thank
I'm
you.
going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent him until he gets his own attorney. They could
Okay.
file a notice of appearance. All right. Who do we have up next?
Yes, you can.
All right, so this is Mr. Thrasher.
Yes, Your Honor. Blaine McChesney on behalf of Mr. Thresher, who stands to my right.
Okay, give me a moment. All right, so Mr. Thrasher, there's been a warrant issued for your arrest. You were detained.
Your Honor, we'll waive reading of the charge. If I might be heard very briefly as to bond.
You may.
Your Honor, my client is a veteran with a limited criminal history. He lives on probation for a couple misdemeanors out of Polk County, but beyond that, I think his criminal history is rather minimal. He's been 5 years at the same residence here in Castleberry, 30 years old, and not a flight risk at all. I would ask the court to set a minimal bond in the case.
Well, I will tell you, Mr. McChesney, I'm concerned with some of the things I'm reading in this affidavit for the arrest warrant.
I understand.
And he does have an out-of-state history of DUI and vandalism.
Yeah, there's some misdemeanors in California, I think was the DUI. I think that was from California. So it's just kind of a misdemeanor criminal history, Your Honor. I know that the report does state some interesting things. However, the defendant was described, the driver was described as a person with short hair and a goatee with gauges in his ears. My client has nothing at all in his ears. This is a case of mistaken identity. He was actually a backseat passenger in his own car. There are 2 other witnesses to that, which we believe we'll be able to bring forward. Once the body cam video in combination with the rest of this, we think this is going to go away.
Okay. All right, well, I'll set bond in count 1 then, based on your representations at $500, count 2, $100. Conditions, obviously, that he not operate a motor vehicle without a valid license. And I am also going to make a condition that he stay in weekly contact with you. Okay?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank
That's all
you.
I have today.
Thank you.
Can I have that back, please? Thank you. All right, we'll let you know when Mr. Gomes is up. We'll let you know when he's up, is what I told her.
Where's Gomes? Outside medical?
Oh, is Gomes in medical? Counsel?
Yes, I'd ask that we could wait his appearance for purposes of sitting bond.
Then come on up to the podium and let's go forward. Okay, so private counsel is here, you did all that, right? Okay.
Good
All right,
afternoon, Your Honor.
please state your name.
Charity Tonelli for Joseph Gomes.
All right, so you know Mr. Gomes is out on bond for ag assault with a firearm and grand theft,
I
right?
do, yes.
Okay, and leaving the scene. All right, give me a minute.
Thank you.
All right, apparently probable cause has previously been established by the issuing judge who signed off on a warrant. No bond on count 1 or 2. He granted a $500 bond on count 3. I don't have the facts of the underlying arrest affidavit. Do we have the arrest affidavit or the warrant for the application for the arrest affidavit in this case? State, do you have it?
No, Your Honor. I just get the lovely.
Are you attempting to set bond on count 1?
I am, Your Honor.
Then I'll need it. All right. I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. You may make any probable cause has been previously established, but you can make any argument you wish as to release.
Your Honor, this is a veteran. He lives with his grandmother and his godfather, and he has for the last 8 years. He has medical conditions that would be hindered by remaining in jail. He is on veterans disability, so although he doesn't hold a job here, he has deep ties to the community and his family that lives here. He has been allowed bail before and has always appeared in court, has no past failures to appear. Financial resources are limited. I was retained by a family member, so I would ask that a low monetary bond be set or a reasonable bond in the alternative. I do show that up until recently, history has been rather minimal, and I do believe he's eligible for pretrial release.
PTR, is he eligible for pretrial release? I'm sorry?
Is that eligible for pretrial release?
Yeah, the count 1 is a sexual battery, so I would be just astounded if he was eligible for pretrial
Yes.
release. All right, counsel, he does have a Florida arrest history, which does probably include some of the things that he is out on bond for, but I'm looking at battery by strangulation, DV battery, aggravated battery on a pregnant person. He is out on bond on ag assault with a firearm, grand theft, leaving the scene of an accident with property damage. The allegations in this case include a very violent alleged rape, and thought I read of the use of a firearm involved in that as well, aggravated assault. So I am not going to set bond in count 1 at all. I'm going to let you take this up with the judge who's got this case and who's it's assigned to. So he's continue to be held no bond on count 1. As to count 2, I will set bond in that count in the sum of $5,500 with special conditions that he have no contact at all with the listed victim, not come within 500 feet of her home, residence, place of employment, that he not even return to the scene of the offense, this convenience store where this is alleged to have happened. Count 3, the battery will remain at $500. Same conditions of release, no firearms, no ammunition, no weapons. I am revoking his bond in the cases that he was out on bond, 2023 CF 8900 and 2023 CT 853. I am holding him on no bond in those cases for the probable cause. It's been established that on or about July 5th, he violated the conditions of his release. Furthermore, based on what I'm looking at in terms of what he was out on bond for, his prior history, as well as this, I'm finding that he poses a danger to the community as to count 1. I have not heard of any reasonable conditions of release that would safeguard the community against the danger which he poses based on the probable cause charging affidavit that I read that Judge Johnson had previously signed off on. Okay?
Thank you, Your
Not
Honor.
what you wanted to hear, but
Thank you. And Your Honor, the GPS ankle monitor, that would not.
we don't have a GPS ankle monitor in this. Okafor case did away with all of that.
Okay.
So some judges allow you to consider a private company and come before them with a private company and methods of payment, et cetera. But we don't have GPS monitoring any longer in Orange County.
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care now. Very nice that they have these in between because it tells you what your next grouping is. Yeah. You see an orange sheet, that it tells you that they're out on some other form of release when they got arrested for this. All right, good afternoon, sir. Are you Marcos Cortez Ruiz?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. So there's been an allegation that you violated your terms of your probation. The allegations are that you violated conditions 4, 8, and 10. Give me a moment. Or he doesn't qualify for the appointment of a public defender? Sir, are you going to get your own attorney for this violation?
If I can get a public defender.
You don't qualify.
Are you able to temporarily appoint until he can get his own attorney?
I'll
Your Honor?
provisionally appoint until such time as he hires counsel.
If I can get a bond then.
Sir, with respect to these violations, you're going to continue to be held on a no bond status. And again, I will provisionally appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the case. All right, thank you.
Your Honor, I just wanted to answer his question, Your Honor. I apologize. One moment.
So how is it possible for me to get a?
You probably could call or have your family call, but you can't. Thank you, Your Honor.
This is crazy.
All right, thank you. Next up, I have Daquan Allen.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, Mr. Allen. How are you?
Good, ma'am.
All right. Sir, you've been detained on a couple things. There's a failure to appear warrant that was issued for driving on a suspended license. It was issued with a $1,000 bond. Bond will remain in that sum. The other matter is a aggravated battery on a pregnant person. There was a warrant issued for you, probable cause having been found by Judge Johnson previously in that case. And actually another aggravated, so two of them, two aggravated batteries on a pregnant person. Give me a moment. All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, sir. PTR, has there been any contact at all with the listed victims?
Contact was not made because they had no information.
All right, sir. I'm going to set bond in 2023 CF 9814. Is it 9418? That's the one I'm looking at right now. 9418 in the sum of $3,500. Conditions of release will be that you have no contact whatsoever with the listed victim in the matter. Do not come within 500 feet of her employment, vehicle, or residence. No firearms, no ammunition, no weapons. And if I didn't say previously, I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender.
Your Honor, one moment, please. I apologize. He has
I'm sorry? Okay, I will continue to maintain separate residence as well. John Lynn Drahem? You're welcome. Good afternoon. Please state your name.
Sean Lindreyheim.
All right, sir, you've been detained on an affidavit of affidavit aggravated assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. Give me a moment. All right, I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. So I'm going to set bond in the case, sir, in the sum of $3,500. However, you're not going to be able to return to 604 Gallego Avenue. I don't want you having any contact with your brother directly or indirectly. I don't want you to come even within 500 feet of 604 Gallego. Don't come within 500 feet of his place of employment or his vehicle either. I don't want the two of you having any contact. Do you understand that? All right. So I'm also going to order, in light of what I'm reading here, that you not possess any firearms or any ammunition. You may not possess any firearms or any ammunition. Do you understand that? All right, and if I didn't previously say so, I do appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Your Honor, can he get a one-time return?
No. No? I don't even want law enforcement involved in this in a one-time assist, okay? All right, thank you. Sir, tell me your name.
Jordan Fair.
All right, Mr. Fair. Mr. Fair, previous judge has executed a probable cause warrant for your arrest, charging you with aggravated battery, count 1, battery DV, count 2, battery by strangulation, count 3, and grand theft, count 4. No bond was set. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. All right, with respect to bond, as to, and PTR, was there any attempt to contact the victim in the matter?
Pretrial attempted to contact, but no information.
Okay. All right. All right, so count one, I will set bond in the sum of $3,500. Count two, 100. Count three, 500. Count four, 500. Conditions of your release will be that you will have no contact whatsoever, directly or indirectly, with the victim, not come within 500 feet of residence, employment, vehicle, not possess any weapons, firearms, ammunition. I will allow you one-time assist, okay, with law enforcement to collect personal belongings, but it has to be with law enforcement. Do you understand?
Okay.
All right. All right, thank you. Antonio Randall. Good afternoon, Mr. Randall. Fine, thank you. All right, sir, I'm reviewing a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with burglary of a dwelling within a battery therein. Give me a moment. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Does the defense wish to be heard as to bond?
One more, please, Your Honor. Defense would just argue, but, based on his limited criminal history and his last conviction was in 2015, that you place a reasonable bond, Your Honor, in regards to this case.
Sir, do you have a job?
I'm self-employed, and I'm taking care of two little girls on my own right now because their mother passed away. So, and I know I have to work later, so.
But not at 667 West Amelia Street, correct?
Actually, so basically what happened there.
No,
I'm sorry.
Do you live at 667 West Amelia?
Oh, I actually moved out.
Okay, thank you.
So I'm living at
All right, that's all I need. All right, so I'll set bond in this case, sir, in the sum of $3,500. What you're charged with is a PBL, a punishable by life, so it's a severe offense what you're charged with, but I'm going to go ahead and set bond, given your lack of prior history, the rate of $3,500. But I do not want you having any contact with her, and I do mean any direct contact or any indirect contact. You will not come within 500 feet of the home, her vehicle, or her employment. No contact means no contact. Do you understand that? All right. So you shouldn't have anything there that you need to retrieve, correct?
No, ma'am, so basically, oh.
All right.
On the same,
All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter. Thank you.
Your Honor, for this next case, both her and the alleged, oh, he's the next one. Both her and the alleged victim, they both were arrested, so do you want them to come out at the same time?
Yeah, please.
Travis, the next person. Travis, can't pronounce his name. Yeah.
Sir, please tell me your name.
Travis, Sebastian.
Okay, and ma'am? All right, give me a moment.
I do have a PC argument for her case, Your Honor.
Well, you can go ahead and make your PC argument as I'm reading it.
So my PC argument will only just be for count 2 because there's no indication in the four corners of affidavit that Mr. Travis was unable to breathe or lost consciousness.
Oh, you're talking about Mr. Travis?
Mr. Travis, yeah.
Okay, all right. So you're talking about the DV strangulation as to him?
Yes,
Okay.
for her case.
All right, I think I've got you now. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
State, do you wish to be heard as to the PC argument with regard to Mr. Sebastian?
No, Your Honor. I understand the defense's argument, but based on the four corners, the state would just ask that PC be found.
Okay. All right. As to Mr. Sebastian, I do accept the defense's argument with respect to strangulation, but I still see separate DVs. So there's going to be, I'm going to amend it down to just a battery DV. Do you understand? Defense?
For Mr. Travis's case or Ms. Ray?
I'm talking about Mr. Travis.
Okay.
Travis
Okay.
Sebastian. All right. So one will be a battery DV.
That's qualified for PTR.
Okay, and 2 will be a battery DV. With respect to, hang on one second. That's as to her. I apologize. PC affidavit is giving me enough probable cause as to DV strangulation with regard to him. So I had it backwards. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so with regard to her, the count 2, battery by DV strangulation, be amended to just to a regular battery DV. His remains the same. I do find probable cause as to his. So you saying that even on the battery DV, he would still qualify for PTR?
Mr. Travis, he qualifies for PTR.
Okay. All right, with respect to Shoshana, ma'am, as to count 1, I am setting bond in the sum of $1,500. As to count 2, $500. As to count 3, $500, and just did the amended count 2. With respect to Mr. Sebastian, as to count 1, I'm setting bond in the sum of $3,500. As to count 2, $100. I'm not going to straight release them, yeah.
Your Honor, they both do want contact, so can we order no hostile?
They are not going to have
No
contact.
contact, okay.
You two are not going to have contact. Based on what I'm reading, you do not need to have contact. Based on what I'm reading, you are a danger to each other and you are a danger to the community so long as you are having contact. And I want to emphasize that to you. I will not allow contact. I don't want the two of you talking to each other. I don't want the two of you IMing each other. I don't want the two of you Snapchatting each other. I don't want the two of you having any contact via Facebook or any other platform of social media or face-to-face contact. You will not have any contact with one another. And that is a condition of your release. With respect to this, the 1315 Enco Way, whose name is that property in?
My granddaddy's.
That's your granddaddy's? All right. And do you have personal items there, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I will allow her to live there. You will not return. Do you understand that? I'll give you a one-time return with law enforcement to collect personal items. Neither one of you will possess a firearm or any ammunition. All right. And I've appointed the Office of the Public Defender to both of them. Yes. Yeah. All right, is there anything further?
None from the defense, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Patrick Sabretto?
Your Honor, Mr. Sabretto, he's mental health.
Okay. He'll be a reset then for tomorrow.
Is that Sabretto's victim? I believe he has a victim, Your Honor.
Sabretto has been reset to tomorrow. He is in mental health. You'll have to come back tomorrow. The next up I have is Basetto.
The AV was also arrested, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
The alleged victim was also arrested.
All right, and that is Bedoya?
Ms. BB Khan. I don't know where she's coming.
Sorry, who is she?
Khan.
Okay, Khan.
Yes, please.
Let's see. Yeah, exactly. This is, I'm going to do Khan along with. They both qualify? Okay, thank you. All right, sir, tell me your name.
BB Khan.
You're BB Khan.
Yeah.
Sir, tell me your name.
Balbasdeo.
I reviewed probable cause charging affidavits with respect to each of you. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent each of you. All right, so you each qualify for pretrial release, is what I'm told. However, from what I'm reading, you have a 25-year marriage. Do you have any minor children inside the house?
No minor.
All right, so your children are grown?
Yes.
And the house, is it a rental or is it something you own, sir? You own it? All right, ma'am, do you have any alternate residence that you can stay at?
Yeah.
All right, and where is that?
My daughter.
And she live here locally?
She live in Narcoosee.
Narcoosee? All right, if I order you to stay there, is that something that you can do?
Yeah, I can do that.
All right. And sir, if I order you to stay at the Bridgeview address, you can do that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, so I'm going to straight release each of you to pretrial release without any monetary conditions. However, you will both have the following conditions of release. I don't want you having any contact, okay?
Okay.
No contact directly, no contact indirectly, no having your daughter get word to him, no having him get word to your daughter, that kind of thing. No indirect contact, no contact on social media. No contact means no contact. The two of you need to separate. You need to be away from each other for a good long period of time, based on what I'm reading. Ma'am, I will allow you a one-time return to the Bridgeview address. So you can live at the Bridgeview address. You can go back there. She can come back there one time with the assistance of law enforcement to collect personal belongings. But you will maintain separate residences, okay? You've told me that you can live in Kissimmee with your daughter. You can live there or anywhere else, but you will not be living at the Bridgeview address. With respect to any other conditions of release, I'm going to order that neither one of you come within 500 feet of the other's residence, the other's employment, or the other's vehicles. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
No firearms, no ammunition. You may not own same or have same within your control during the term of this case. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Anything further from the Office of the Public Defender?
No, Your Honor. Yes, yes.
All right, thank you both. Angelise Bedoya is the next one I have up. Angelise Bedoya?
Sorry. Bedoya.
Bedoya.
She qualifies for PTR judge.
I'm sorry?
She qualifies for PTR.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, tell me your name.
Angelise Bedoya.
Sir, raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is your name, sir?
Joseph Isaac Ayala Fonseca.
You can lower your hand. Sir, what is it that you want to tell the court?
Yesterday's incident took place at the Orange Lake Resort where we are going to be celebrating her birthday. Incident happened at the main entrance at the resort, which the marketing, one of the marketing team members was trying to sell us on some tickets, and she, was not having it. She said, "Hey, no." The tension rose between the two. I don't like being in situations like that, so I simply just walked away, went to the bathroom, came back. It was still there. He was still trying to sell us the tickets. She was like, "No, just give us the room key and the
Give me the Reader's Digest version, sir. The Reader's Digest version.
Okay. So we left, and then that's when it escalated a little bit because she wanted me to just get picked up because she felt like I had his side over hers. Because I told him, hey, you know, I what about the tickets? And she was like, well, whose side do you have? You know, do you have his side or my side? I'm like, no, it's not none of that. My job was to de-escalate the whole situation. Emotions got involved. We went back to the hotel, where she just wanted me to just leave for the night, which was fine. I told her I would leave. I would get picked up by my best friend. The emotions got more and more, when she thought, since she texted him not to pick me up, since we were gonna de-escalate the whole situation and the whole problem, I still told her I was gonna get picked up, where she later assumed I was getting picked up by a female, which was not in the mix. Excuse me. So
So y'all have a child?
yes, ma'am.
How old?
She's 1 year and 6 months.
Where is she right now?
She is at the resort right now. She was on her way while we were waiting downstairs.
Okay,
her
so
grandma.
what's the bottom line here, sir? Do you want me to allow her to have contact with you?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
All right, are you in fear of her?
No, Your Honor.
Has anything like this happened between the two of you before?
No, Your Honor, never.
State, do you wish to inquire?
No, Your Honor, you covered it.
All right. Ma'am, I've reviewed the domestic violence probable cause charging affidavit, and I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I do not typically allow contact when it's gotten to this degree and law enforcement has gotten involved for a whole host of common sense reasons. But in this particular case, given the fact that you both qualify for pretrial, given the fact that you qualify for pretrial release and there's been no prior history of violence between the two of you and you have a minor child, I'm going to allow no hostile contact. Do you understand that?
Yes,
No
ma'am.
hostile contact means no yelling, no screaming, no punching, no kicking. I will straight release you to pretrial release without monetary conditions with those understandings. No hostile contact. Do you understand that, ma'am?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender if I have not previously. All right, I have next up Del Baez. All right, thank you. Ma'am, please tell me your name.
Carla Nicole del Valle Baez.
Sir, please raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I solemnly swear.
Lower your hand. Tell me your name.
My name is Paul Olagan Smallwood.
All right, sir, what is it that you want to tell the court?
That what happened yesterday is something that is unique, has never happened. We both called the cops. There was really no violence.
I'm sorry, I can barely hear you. Can you speak down into
Yeah.
that microphone?
Yeah, this was a unique situation where we got into an argument. As I'm much bigger than her, which she's never done before, she pushed me. I ended up trying to defend myself by pushing her back. We both called the police. Before the police came, we both apologized to ourselves. This never happened. It was an absolute big mistake. We both wanted to tell the police that as soon as they came. As soon as they came, we told them our side of the story. But because she did push me first, even though I was maybe even the one argumentative, they charged her, which is, I believe, a great injustice, and that she should not be charged whatsoever.
Okay, according to this report, you had scratches on your neck.
Yes, I also informed him that I've had allergies. We have rabbits at our place, and on my neck is I hold my rabbits, and I even informed him that I do have pets, and I take Claritin and Benadryl, and that was there previously.
Okay. Well, according to this affidavit, there was also a scratch observed on Carla's neck, and she said that it was probably happened when you grabbed her by the neck. All right, ma'am, I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter. And you said she qualified for pretrial release?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm I'm going to straight release you to pretrial release. Do the two of you have any children in common?
No, we do not.
And 4415 Hector Court, is that an apartment?
My address is 5448 Millennial Lakes Boulevard.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ma'am, where do you live?
4415 Hector Court.
Okay.
That's my address.
There's no reason that y'all are needing to live together then, right?
No.
Okay. And you have no children in common. Sir, I'm not going to allow any contact, all right? If it's risen to this effect where you both are getting law enforcement involved, they've got much better things to do than to come to folks' homes when they're not getting along and they're engaging in violence against each other. So I'm not going to allow any contact. Ma'am, no contact means no contact. No contact directly, no contact indirectly. You will not come within 500 feet of his home, his car, his residence, okay? And I'm straight releasing you to PTR with the understanding that it'll be without monetary conditions. Okay. All right, thank you both.
The only we do her rabbits are at my place. So how would I get the animals to her?
I'll allow her a one-time assist with law enforcement to come and retrieve the rabbits, okay? All right? But again, no contact. And I mean it, no contact. All right, thank you. Andrea Glenn. Okay, thank you. Sir, raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, state your name.
Roman Alexander McKinley Miller.
All right, Mr. Miller, what is it that you want to tell the court?
I just wanted to tell the court that initially when this situation first happened, I didn't want to press charges. I didn't want her to even be arrested. So this, like where she's at right now, I didn't even want this to take place. From the last couple of cases I did hear, we do have a 10-month-old daughter who's about to be 11 months. And I don't want there to be an order of no contact, maybe an order of no hostile contact so that things can maintain, to be cordial between us. But like, I don't even want her in this situation. And I don't know if it's possible for you to pardon her, to bond her out, or whatever can be done to get her out of here as soon as possible so that she could be back with her daughter and working is why I'm here. I'm here to help.
Okay. So I'm assuming that you're not afraid of her?
Nope.
Is that true?
Nope, I'm not afraid in any way, shape, or form.
All right, give me a moment. Where does your daughter live?
She currently lives with the both of us, but we're separating in about maybe a week and a half. Like, I didn't know she had her own place right now, but she's about to be moving into her own place, and I'm about to be living on my own. So she's currently right now with her grandmother.
All right. I've read the probable cause charging affidavit. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, ma'am. I will straight release you to pretrial release with the following conditions. Only because the two of you have a minor child, I'm going to allow no hostile contact, but you will maintain separate residences. You will not live in the same residence together. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And no hostile contact means no hitting, no kicking, no, none of that. All right? Do you have any questions?
I don't.
All right, thank you both.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, I do have a question. Since it's immediate, no, maintain separate, never mind, sorry.
Maintain separate residences.
It's my mistake, sorry. It's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fine.
Jeremy Major? Sir, tell me your name. All right, ma'am, raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
Tell me your name.
Megan Vasquez.
All right, Ms. Vasquez, what is it that you want to tell me?
Jeremy is not a bad man. The reason that the police were called were to defuse the situation. In all reality, he was defending himself.
Against what?
Against me.
Okay.
He was defending himself, and when the officers came up, when I spoke to them, before they even spoke to him, it kind of seemed like they had already had their mind made up that they were going to arrest him before they even...
Don't blame the officers, ma'am. It's not going to fly well with me, but go ahead.
Okay. Just, they said that they were going to arrest him before they even spoke to him. So all I'm saying is he was just defending himself. He didn't do anything that was bad, honestly.
Do the two of you have any children in common?
We don't.
And do the two of you live together?
We do currently.
I'm sorry?
We do.
Okay. And that is at the Ashton Manor address?
Yes, ma'am.
Give me a moment. All right, ma'am, I do note that at the time when law enforcement was there, you gave little details, but they did observe a swelling to your lip, a broken shirt, and redness on your neck. I do note that also, Mr. Major, you have a past history here of DV arrest, the same victim, closed in May 2022, and a past arrest for assault by strangulation in 2020. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'm going to set bond in the case in the sum of $1,500. I will not allow the two of you to have any contact, period. You do not need to have contact with one another. No contact means no contact. I don't want you contacting him directly or indirectly. Social media, none of that. There's to be no contact. I will allow a one-time assist. You'll maintain separate residences. Whose name is the Ashton Manor property in?
Mine.
Okay. So, sir, I will allow you to return there one time with law enforcement to assist in collection of any personal effects that you might have. All right. No weapons, no firearms as well. All right. Thank you all. Dexter Robinson. All right, PTR, was there any contact with the victim with respect to this case?
There was no contact. No one answered upon we tried calling them.
All right, sir, are you Dexter Robinson? Mr. Robinson, I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit alleging battery, domestic violence. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I will set bond in the sum of $500 with the following conditions. You will not return to the address at 3300 South Orange Blossom Trail, number 159. Do you have any personal effects there? You will not come within 500 feet of the victim's residence, place of employment, or vehicle. You will not possess any firearms or ammunition. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter, sir. Thank you. $1,500.
I heard 500, so it's 1,500, Your Honor?
Did I say 500? I was,
Your Honor.
500, sir. All right, Winston-Salem?
Qualified for PTR judge.
Okay. All right, sir, state your name.
Sam Salem.
All right, sir, I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with domestic violence assault. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You do qualify for pretrial release. I will release you to pretrial release, straight release without monetary conditions. Give me a moment. How long have you been living at 5308 Mount Plymouth?
We just moved in there a month ago.
A month ago? And how many children do you have there?
4.
4? All right, you know, I'm going to order that you not have any contact with her. So no contact's going to mean no contact. Is she living there too?
It's my sister's place.
It's
and
your sister's place?
I'm living there. Yes, it's not my place. And you know, I take care of the goats and chickens in the yard over there. But I want to know, you know, I didn't put my hands on her.
All right, well, there's going to be no contact with the victim, okay?
Okay.
All right. And I've appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, sir. Just no contact, yeah. I released him to PTR, yes, no contact. Sir, tell me your name.
Benton.
I'm sorry?
Benton.
Okay, and is your first name Samuel?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Benton, a judge has previously issued a warrant for your arrest, and it was aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. There was no bond set. It's actually a failure to appear. I apologize. All right, a bond will be stayed at none, okay? I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'm sorry? He does?
Yes, ma'am.
I only have this one. Hold on, sir. All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. Raymond Brinson?
Mr. Benton, this is yours.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Brinson, is it? Okay. You've been detained on a warrant for failure to appear for fleeing, attempting to elude, and bond has been set by the issuing judge at 0, and it will remain. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Thank you, sir. All right, Mr. Carter?
I do have a PC argument for this case, Your Honor.
All right. With respect to Mr. Carter, I'm looking at a probable cause charging affidavit that charges him with trafficking in methamphetamines, possession of cannabis with intent, possession of alprazolam with intent, possession of diazepam with intent, possession of amphetamine with intent, possession of firearm by convicted felon, and in the commission of a felony and carrying a concealed firearm, possession of drug paraphernalia, and drugs without a prescription. What is your PC argument?
My PC argument would just be in the possession of firearm by convicted felon, because nowhere in the affidavit did the officer indicate how he know client is a convicted felon, Your Honor.
Look at page 405 at the very top.
It's right here. Listen.
Okay, do you withdraw your argument?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Sir, I have reviewed the probable cause charging affidavit, and I do find probable cause in the matter. And let me see, okay. All right, sir. As to count 1, bond will be stayed in the sum of $100,000. As to count 2, $7,500. As to count 3, 4, 5, $1,000. As to count 6 and 7, $5,000. As to count 8, $1,000. As to count 9, $500. And as to count 10, $250. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Conditions of your release, sir, will be that you not be in possession. You're a convicted felon. You can't be in possession of a firearm or any weapons, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
You have to capture all of that. One moment, please, Your Honor.
I think I have Catherine. Is Catherine Carter? Yeah, I didn't think it was. That's what I have up next on my list is Catherine Carter.
It's 2301-8523.
Bonded, okay, thank you. Ma'am, what is your name?
Sade Dunn.
All right. All right, Ms. Dunn, I'm looking at a probable cause charging affidavit that's charging you with possession of paraphernalia, marijuana, and I can never say that. State, help me with that. Phenylamine? All right.
Phenylethylamine.
Okay, thank you. Give me a moment.
Yeah, but he's charging you. That's not the whole, like, that's not a complete statute. Okay, give me a second. Yeah.
So state are phenethylamines or whatever they are those mushrooms that are referenced? What is this?
I believe so, Your Honor, but the report indicated that the mushrooms also tested positive for MDMA. So I thought it should be charged that way.
Okay, I guess that's the MDMA because that's what they're saying the
Yes, Your Honor.
phenethylamines are.
I've never seen it charged as.
I've never seen it charged as mushrooms either, but they're saying that it tested positive for the MDMA. All right, ma'am, I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
For count number 3, Your Honor, can we set a more reasonable bond for that count?
Yeah, you kind of read my mind in that. All right, ma'am. As to count 1, it'll remain at 100. As to count 2, it'll remain at 150. As to count 3, I'm going to set bond in the sum of $10,000 on that one, okay? Now, conditions of your release will be that you stay in contact with your public defender, and then obviously you not be in possession of any narcotics that are not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jalon Fair?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. Sir, I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit. It charges you with possession of cannabis in excess of 20 grams with a weapon, possession of cannabis with intent to sell or distribute, possession of a weapon in the commission of a felony, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You also have a warrant outstanding, a no bond warrant for aggravated assault with a firearm. It was signed off on with a no bond. I don't have the underlying affidavit on that. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I will stay the bonds.
Your Honor, I believe in the case with the warrant that he is entitled to bond in regards to that case. It is a
I
third degree.
haven't gotten to that case yet.
Oh, sorry.
I'll stay the bonds in counts 1 through 4. Conditions of your release, sir, will be that you not be in possession of a firearm or ammunition. You cannot be.
Yes, ma'am.
That you not be in possession of any drugs that are not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician. Give me a moment. Let me look at the affidavit on the other case.
Your Honor, I don't have the bonds listed out. Are you able to tell me what the bonds amount are?
I'll give her. Madam Clerk, could you tell her the bond while I'm looking at this?
It's $1,000 on count 1, $15,000 on count 2, 500 on count 3, and 250 on count 4.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Fair, I find that you're a danger to the community based on your prior history and based on what I'm reading here with respect to your relative and the use of a firearm. I am going to, in this particular case of aggravated assault with a firearm, I'm going to decline to set bond. I want the victim to have notification. I want the victim to be present before any bond is set. He'll have to take that up with the judge that has this case, okay? Continued conditions of any release that might be set in the future are no possession of a firearm and no contact with a victim. All right. Thank you. All right, I have up next on my list Justin Gallagher. Gallagher, who I have.
2301-8532.
All right. Rena Gonzalez? All right, there'll be a reset. Andy Henley? Commandy Henley?
Yes.
All right. Sir, I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with burglary of a conveyance and petty theft. I do find probable cause as to each. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the case. How old are you?
I just made 19 today.
All right, I'm going to stay bond in the sum of $3,500 as to count 1, 250 as to count 2. Conditions of your release will be that you have no contact whatsoever with the victim in the matter. You not return to the scene of the offense. Okay? All right, thank you.
No, the judge.
Gracia Horn? Okay. Ms. Horn, a judge has previously reviewed an affidavit for an arrest warrant and found probable cause to issue a warrant for your arrest for 3 counts of neglect of a child and 1 count of false report to a law enforcement officer. That judge previously established bonds in each count at $1,000 for a total of $4,000 in bond. Conditions of your release, ma'am, will be that you have no unsupervised contact with any child under the age of 18. And I'm going to impose as a condition of contact that you have no contact with the children named in counts 1, 2, and 3. Children or child, I don't know. I don't have the affidavit, and apparently it's unavailable for me to read any further facts with respect to counts 1, 2, and 3. But for the meantime, that is going to be what I am going to impose. I am appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter. Thank you. Jessica Ingham? Ms. Ingham, you've been charged with grand theft of a motor vehicle. Give me a moment. All right, ma'am, I've reviewed the probable cause charging affidavit. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Bond will be stayed in the sum of $1,000. Conditions of your release will be that you not be in possession of any drugs that are not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician. I do not want you having any contact with any of the state's witnesses in the case as well. All right, thank you. Here. Is this Mr. Jackson? Give me a moment. Sometimes you gotta do a double. All right, sir, I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with aggravated battery with permanent disfigurement. I do find probable cause. I'm going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the case. PTR, the aggravated batteries in his prior history, what is the most recent, the year of the most recent?
Recent year, Judge.
Okay, you just have a prior history. You have what I'm looking at, is that what I'm getting at?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, sir. I am going, due to what I'm reading here, I'm going to set bond at $5,000 with the condition that you have no contact whatsoever with the victim in the matter, not come within 500 feet of him, not have in your possession any firearms or ammunition. And I would also like mental health to, I want him flagged for mental health to be reviewed here at the jail while he's here. All right, thank you.
It is yours.
Jermaine Jacob?
Yes, ma'am.
You don't qualify PTR.
All right, sir. A judge has previously found probable cause and issued a warrant for your arrest for the charges of burglary of a dwelling and grand theft from a dwelling. Bond has been set at count 1 at 500, count 1, 5,000, count 2, 500, for a total of $5,500 with the conditions of no contact with any victim or witness and no return to the scene. I will stay bonds and conditions in that amount. However, sir, at the time of the date of incident, which is alleged to be July the 6th, 2023, you are out on pretrial release with respect to an Osceola County case, 2023 CF 1977, finding probable cause to believe that you violated the conditions of your release. Sir, I'm going to revoke the conditions of your release and hold you on no bond status with respect to that case. I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter.
That Osceola was before this, ma'am.
Sir, this case here has a PC date of July the 6th. Are you telling me that Osceola came before July the 6th?
Yes, ma'am.
State, I need your help on that.
I'll look it up, Your Honor.
This is 2023 CF 1977, an Osceola County case. So I'm finding that a little hard to believe because the date of arrest is June 29, but I'm going to have the state look at it, okay?
Mr. Jacob was arrested on the Osceola case on June 30th, 2023.
All right, sir. Which predates the July, okay? So I think you're in error with respect to that, and my ruling remains the same. Thank you, sir.
One moment, please, Your Honor.
Don't have to stay. You can go if you want. Which one's probably good enough? Okay. At this point, it's got to be getting pretty boring. All right, are you Lindell Johnson?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. All right, sir, so I'm reviewing a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with driving under the influence. All right, I do find probable cause, sir. Give me a moment.
Yeah, I know it's a bicycle, but in the state of Florida. I tried to look into that as well. I can ask for RR on the DUI.
PTR.
I can ask for RR on the DUI. Your Honor, do you have any objection to, I know he has 4 cases of, to RRing him on the DUI charge?
Well, I'm re-reviewing this DUI charge. It says he's
On a bicycle?
on a bicycle. The state, he's not operating a motor vehicle on the highways and byways of the state of Florida. So do you have any objection to an ROR on the DUI?
Your Honor, I have no objection to that. I just, Mr. Barber, I believe, or Mr. Johnson, I believe, was here last weekend or the weekend before for a similar arrest on the bicycle. I do know that the bicycle, we have successfully prosecuted that, but
Has it got some kind of engine on it?
I have no idea. That's what I was trying to look up now. I just realized this was the same individual, but no objection to that. We would just ask that he be given bond on.
Okay, so here's the situation. This says due to a bicyclist, and it doesn't give me any other information than a bicyclist.
Yes, Your Honor, no objection
So
to ROR.
I'm gonna,
on the-
yeah, I'm not gonna find probable cause for the DUI. I'm gonna ROR him on the DUI, okay? Give me a moment. All right, so as to the possession of cocaine and paraphernalia, I do find probable cause. With respect to that, I'm going to, is this a situation where you said he was here last week for the same thing? Is this a situation where this is a repeat kind of pattern of conduct?
Your Honor, if I may, he indicated he wasn't here last week, and I don't see an open case for him, and I don't see any like last convictions for him as if he would have pled last time he was here.
Right, all I see in his history is the alcoholic, open containers, et cetera, drug possessions.
Yes, Your Honor, I just checked as well, and I'm not seeing it. I thought maybe it was the.
Okay, all right, so I think.
That was my mistake. We had a Mr. Lindell here.
All right, so bond in the sum of $1,000 will be stayed on the possession of cocaine. $500 on the drug paraphernalia will be stayed. With respect to the open container, I do find probable cause, and I'm going to reduce that to $100 from $250 to $100. Conditions, sir, will be that you not have an open container, okay? And you not be in possession of any drugs that are not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician. I am appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in these cases, okay? All right, thank you all. Yeah, I didn't look at the very first sentence. Very first sentence says he was riding a bicycle. Unless they've changed the statute, it's a motor vehicle, is it not? Okay. That's what I was wondering, if it's had some kind of motor. All right, ma'am, please state your name.
Lakira Joseph.
I couldn't hear you.
Lakira Joseph.
All right, Ms. Joseph. All right, ma'am. I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with aggravated assault with a weapon, burglary of an occupied structure, and grand theft of a motor vehicle. I do find probable cause. I am going to appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the case. With respect to bond, all right, with respect to bond, I view the bond amounts to be a little high. I'm going to reduce bond in count 1 to $2,500, count 2, 1,000, count 3, 1,000. However, you may not be in possession of any ammunition and any firearms, any weapons. You may not return to the scene of the offense. Do you understand that? You may not come even within 500 feet of the scene of the offense. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Your Honor, because it's like a toll place, and can someone else go get it for her if her car's like at a toll place?
She's going to have to, it's a civil action.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Civil action.
Your Honor, my apologies on that last case. I did see Mr. Johnson last year.
Okay.
So I remembered part
Time
of it.
flies, huh?
Your bond is there. No contact, can't go back. This is your bond.
I'll give you the face sheet on Jamal Lampkin. All right, sir, what is your name?
Jamal Lampkin.
All right, sir.
Oh, you're young. Oh, so you're young. Okay.
All right, so I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit. It charges you a burglary of a conveyance and petty theft, and I do find probable cause as to each. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter. Bond will be stayed in the sum of $3,500 as to count 1, $250 as to count 2. You'll have no contact with the listed victim in the matter, and you will not return to the area of 7603 West Colonial Drive. Hang on one second. You will not return to the area of the Park Milano apartment homes. The Park Milano apartment homes. You will not have any contact with the co-defendants in the matter, Moses Ledesma and Quamande Henley. With respect to the cases, sir, that you are out on bond, in 2023 CF 1950 in Osceola County, and 2021 CT 1843, I do revoke your bonds and hold you on a no bond status as to those cases. If I didn't previously state it, I am appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the case. All right, thank you, sir. All right, thank you. Marcus Page? Is this Marcus Page?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Page, I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit. It charges you with possession of MDMA. I do find probable cause, sir. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Bond will be stayed in the sum of $1,000 with the obvious condition that you not be in possession of any narcotics that are not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician. Thank you.
I do have a PC argument for the next case, Your Honor, for him.
This is Mr. Prasad. Is that correct?
Ma'am.
Which is the next case, counsel, that you're talking about?
Yes.
Mr. Prasad.
You said Mr.
And-
Prasad or Patel? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Yeah, Patel is the,
Yeah, I have PC for Mr. Patel's case.
okay. And are you Mr. Patel?
No, ma'am.
Who are you?
Prasad.
Mr. Prasad? Okay.
See what happens? 2301.
Jakey? Ja? Yeah. He's supposed to be.
I'm sorry?
He's supposed to be facade.
What happened to 2301-8547?
This is Bijah Prasad.
Jail.
Okay.
Okay. So he bonded. What about Pylant?
He's next.
He's next. And do you have the PTR? Did I give it to you? The PTR sheet on,
No, because of your charge, you don't.
right, but this gentleman here, sir, what's your name? So I need Patel.
Vijay Prasad.
Patel, correct?
Vijay Prasad. P-E-R-S-A-U-D.
All right, gotcha. All right. So again, I need this, what is his name?
My name is Vijay Prasad.
I don't have Prasad here.
Vijay Kumar
I
Prasad.
don't have a PC affidavit on Prasad. This is B-I-D-J-A-I.
That's my name, ma'am. That's my name.
That's your name?
Ma'am.
Yeah, it's Bijay.
They have the name in the
All
system
right.
backwards. That's all.
They have your last name as B-I-D-J-A-I, but your last name is Prasad.
Correct, ma'am.
All right. Now, what's your PC argument as? Which count?
Sorry, it was for, my PC was for Patel, but he bonded, so I don't have a PC
All right,
for
so you don't
Prasad.
have a PC for him. Give me a
No.
minute. All right, sir. There is a warrant that was executed upon you for dealing in stolen property and grand theft of a motor vehicle, probable cause having been previously found by the issuing judge. Bond set in the amount of $2,500 is to count one, 1,000 is to count two, for a total of 3,500. I will stay bond in those sums. I do not want you returning to the scene of the offense. And whatever conditions are in the warrant will remain. And that is including no contact with the alleged victim in the matter. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. As to 2023 CF 9464, possession of methamphetamine, I do find probable cause. Bond will be stayed in the sum of $1,000. Conditions of your release on that case are that you not be in possession of any controlled substances that are not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician. If I didn't say so previously, I appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. You're welcome.
You know if I qualify for a 2-hour release?
Let's see.
And
You don't.
if not, I need to see about.
All right, I think I'm back on track.
Okay.
Pylant, are you Mr. Pylant?
Ma'am.
Probable cause, sir, has been previously established by the issuing judge to charge you with fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer and driving while license permanently revoked. No bond was set on the fleeing and attempting to elude. $5,000 bond was set with respect to the second count. Give me a moment, let me review the affidavit.
So 3,500. That's all I have. No, 3,000 for 1,500.
Right, sir. With respect to count one, you are entitled to bond. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'll set bond in count one in the sum of $10,000. Count two will remain at $5,000. Conditions of your release will be that you not drive, period. You can't. You don't have a license to do so. You not operate a motor vehicle.
One moment, please, Your Honor. Your Honor, client would like to know, do you have any objection to reducing his bond amount to $3,500 in total, as in like $3,000 for count one and $500 for count two?
You can speak to the judge that has your case, but that's as low as I'm going to go on it, okay? Paul Quinones?
Refuse.
Reset.
Defense has no objection to waiving his appearance since he refused, Your Honor.
Well, have you been, let's see. All right, well, he signed off on the application, so I'll go ahead and appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent him. I'll accept your waiver of his appearance. Give me a moment. All right, I've reviewed the probable cause charging affidavit. I do find probable cause. Bond will be stated in the amount of $1,000. Conditions of his release will be that he not have possession of any controlled substances without a legal and valid prescription. You, Curtis Reed? So you've been detained on warrants for failure to appear. They are no bond warrants. They are for possession of a firearm by a convicted felon ×2. And I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. And bond will be stayed at those amounts, okay? All right, thank you.
One moment, please, Your Honor. Your Honor, in regards to this case, I understand you're not the judge that issued the warrant for a failure to appear. He's stating that when the warrant was issued, he was in Lake County. He was already in the custody of the state.
That may be very well true, sir. But at this point in time, I can do little with that. The proper way to approach that is to make a motion to the issuing judge through your public defender, and if they can verify through written documentation that at the time of your failure to appear, you were in fact incarcerated and it was done through no fault of your own, then the issuing judge can have jurisdiction to make some amends with that, okay?
I'll let them know.
All right. Next up, I have Miguel Rivera.
Can we waive the reading of the charges, Your Honor?
All right, thank you.
Oh, I don't know.
Can you put him to the side, Your Honor? Ceballos?
I'm sorry?
He stepped away to go to the restroom. Can you just step to the side?
Mr. Rivera stepped away, so you want me to do the next one? Is that what you're saying? Okay. I'll do Hector. Sir, what is your name?
Hector Ceballos.
Okay.
I have a PC argument for Mr. Hector Ceballos.
As to what count?
All of them, Your Honor.
All right, give me a moment.
Can't say nothing.
All right, you may proceed.
When I read the affidavit, Your Honor, I just believe that there's more information needed. The officer doesn't indicate how client was tied to the scene, how client was identified as the person who committed those acts, Your Honor, no admissions, and I just feel like more information is needed from the affidavit that we received.
State, do you wish to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. If PC is not found, we would just ask for 24 hours to supplement the report.
All right, I'll give you 24 hours. I concur with the defense. This gives me conclusions. It gives me little facts supporting it, okay?
Good, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so he'll be a reset for tomorrow. Yeah, that's, and that's, I don't think this is one that we look at.
24, except for 24 hours. You come back tomorrow.
It's Mr. Rivera.
All right. Are you Miguel Rivera? Mr. Rivera, a judge has previously found probable cause, has issued a warrant. You have been picked up on a warrant, but no bond was set in that case. Due to the nature of the charges, the court declines to set bond. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender, and you will have no contact whatsoever while you're incarcerated with the named victim. You can apply to the judge that has your case with respect to any future bond, okay? And also the same conditions, no return, maintain separate residence. All right, the next one I have is.
Your Honor, I apologize. He's saying he doesn't want the public defender appointed because he does have private counsel.
All right, so we'll put him down as a toga then.
Okay, thank you.
Put him down as a toga, please.
Okay, so he has you down as, you get your own attorney.
All right, next up I have Thomas Sims. All right, Mr. Sims. You've been detained on an allegation of possession of cannabis with intent to deliver with a weapon.
I have a PC argument for count 2, Your Honor.
All right, and delivery of cannabis within 1,000 feet of a convenience store or business. You may proceed, with regard to your PC argument.
In regards to count 2, there's nowhere in the affidavit where it indicates what type of convenience store or business that client was near.
Do you wish to have any response, State?
Yeah, Your Honor, the state would just ask for 24 hours to supplement the report.
All right, I concur with the defense. I don't just see anywhere where it is, other than the address where the business is named. So I will give the state 24 hours to supplement its report as to count 2. I do find probable cause as to count 1. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, sir. I guess we'll just have to bring them back tomorrow on count 2 then.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
You can come back tomorrow.
And I'll deal with bond and everything tomorrow. Okay. This is Leviticus Smith. Yeah, there's just no sense dealing with one and not the other, so I just set them both, just the whole reset for tomorrow. And who are you, sir? Tyrone Thompson? Okay. All right, so I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charged you with possession of methamphetamine. I do find probable cause. The offense date on this particular charge is 7/14/2023. I will stay bond in the sum of $1,000, appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Sir, however, at the time that you were arrested on this offense, you were released with respect to 2023 MM 1412, petty theft, and with respect to another possession of methamphetamine case, 2023 CF 4829. I do find probable cause to believe you violated the conditions of your release, and I will revoke your bond in each case and hold you without bond as to each. Thank you, sir. Now, with respect to going down to the elevators, though, I think you're going to have someone assist you. I need someone to assist Judge Darenthal going down the elevators and getting out. Can we have someone assist her? I'm sorry, I need someone to assist Judge Darenthal in leaving and going down the elevators. She doesn't have her badge, and she is going to need some assistance, and I'll just have them do it. Okay, all right, thanks. All right, are you Ashley Vernon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ashley. Now, if you need me to come down next weekend and help you a little bit, give you a little refresher, I'd be more than happy to. Just give me a jingle and let me know how you feel, okay? Okay, all right, good, 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 good. All right, Ashley, I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with prostitution, and I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the case. Ashley, when you were arrested on this, though you were out on bond, or release, actually, in a different case, 2023 CF 6965.
Wait.
So with regard to that case, I am going to revoke your conditions of release, hold you on no bond with respect to that.
It's been over 50 days and I have not picked up that charge. Please let me bond out.
Well, that one was 525.
Yeah.
And this one here is,
Yesterday.
yeah, in July. So is that what you mean by it's been over 50
Yeah,
days?
I've been bonded out. And that charge from May, they haven't picked up that charge yet.
No information has been filed yet from the state of Florida in regards to that case yet, Your Honor.
Please let me.
State, have you filed information with respect to 2023 CF 6965? And that's, what is that case? That's a prostitution and possession. Okay, that's why it's a felony. It's the possession of cocaine.
Nothing has been filed. We're likely waiting on FDLE, and the prostitution cases typically go to our pretrial diversion program, so that might have an impact on the filing decision.
Right. All right, ma'am. I'm going to take no action with respect to 2023 CF 6965. But here's the situation, okay? You're going to bond out, and you're going to go back to doing what you're doing.
No.
And you're going to, well, you don't have to tell me no. It's all right. And you're going to probably be using drugs, and then you're going to be in this cycle. You're not going to get another opportunity to be back in front of the court and say, you know, they haven't picked up charges, don't revoke my bond in these other cases, because that kind of
Before these last two
gratuitous
charges.
situation won't happen to you again, okay? All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the case. All right, thank you very much.
What is the bond amount, Your Honor, in the new case?
It stayed in the amount of $1,000.
So I haven't been, I can bond out, right?
Bond out, yes, ma'am.
Judge, so the case for today, how much is that bond?
1,000.
What Gail was a refusal?
All right, it's a refusal.
Defense has no objection to waiving her appearance, Your Honor. It's the same situation as before. The state hasn't picked up charges on the out on bond case.
Right, but I'm not, I mean, you can waive her appearance if you want, but I'm not going, I'm going to revoke her on the other one.
No problem.
Okay. All right, so I do find probable cause on the prostitution, the current arrest. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent her. I'll stay bond in the sum of $1,000, no return. And I will revoke bond in 2023 CF 6675 and hold her without bond. Markeisha Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, a issuing judge has previously issued the warrant for which you were picked up on for robbery with a firearm while wearing a mask, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and grand theft, 3rd degree, with a mask. Give me a moment. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Ma'am, according to what I'm looking at, you have a past conviction of robbery. I am reviewing the factual basis supporting the warrant that was issued by the issuing judge. I specifically find that you are a danger to society. I will not grant bond as to count 1. As to count 2, bond will be as stated in the sum of $4,000. As to count 3, $2,500. You will have no contact with the victim in the matter. You will not be in possession of any firearms or any weapons. You will not be in possession of I'll just leave it at that. All right, thank you. Holly Workman?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Workman, you've been detained on an allegation of prostitution or lewdness. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. State bond in the sum of $1,000 with the condition that you not return to the scene of the offense. Thank you.
Alicia Young is a bond.
Danielle Thomas. Ms. Thomas, a previous judge found probable cause, issued a warrant for your arrest for petty theft, retail theft, set bond in the sum of $2,500. And that was in case number 2023, excuse me? The issuing judge set bond at $250. That was in 2023 MM 4794. All right, thank you for that. No return to the Dollar General, ma'am.
Okay.
The date of alleged offense in that case was July 6th, which postdated your date of arrest in cases that you were out on, release on. So I will revoke your release in 2023 MM 3201 and in 2023 MM 3855 and hold you without bond in both of those cases. And I have appointed the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
Your Honor, I understand you just revoked release. Are you willing to revoke bond but place a new bond? She does have a child that she's a primary caregiver for.
No.
Okay.
She'll have to apply to the judges that those cases are assigned to.
You're unable to bond out.
Have Mario Arboleda as a bond.
All right. Is this Donata Coffee? Adanta Coffee?
Dante Coffee.
Mr. Coffee, you have been issued a citation for no valid driver's license. All right, I've reviewed the probable cause charging affidavit. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the case, sir. And bond will be stated the sum of $500 with the condition that you not operate a motor vehicle without a valid and legal license. Thank you, sir. Joshua Barnes?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Barnes, you've been detained for an allegation of trespass on property after warning. target.
Yes.
All right, I will find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the case.
There is a credit time served offer, Your Honor, to resolve this case. I haven't been able to convey the offer with him.
Sir, I'd be amenable to allowing that so long as you don't go back. You cannot go back to the target. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, sir, is that what you want to do? Enter a plea of guilty to the trespass on property after warning, knowing that you'll get time served and I'll reduce the court cost to a judgment against you?
Yes.
All right, did you sign that form?
He's almost done signing, Your Honor.
All right, sir, is this your signature on this form?
Yes.
Did you read it and understand it?
Yes.
I accept your plea, finding it to be freely and voluntarily entered. You've done so with the advice of an attorney with whom you're satisfied. You understand the nature of your plea, the possible consequences for it. And I will at this time impose sentence. You'll be adjudicated guilty of trespass on property after warning, sentenced to time served. Madam Clerk, the court calls? I have not.
Okay,
273, and I'll reduce that to a civil judgment against you. Thank you, sir. And again, no return. Farron Bennett. All right, Mr. Bennett, I'm reviewing a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with open carry of weapons or firearms.
I have a PC argument for count
What is it?
one. My PC argument was that the weapon was not openly carried, and I don't see any PC for openly carrying the weapon, Your Honor. It was in the vehicle, and the way it was in the vehicle, Your Honor.
State.
Yes, Your Honor, it was in plain view in the vehicle, and that has in the past met the requirements by the court for open display, open carrying of a firearm, given that it's in reach within the vehicle.
I do believe the statute says on or about the person. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so I'll respectfully deny your PC argument, and I will go ahead and find probable cause. Now, is there an offer in the case at all?
No, Your Honor, he doesn't have
All right.
any
So
history.
I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you, sir. Bond will be stated in the sum of $250 with the proviso that you not have a weapon or firearm on your person without a valid permit.
Your Honor, you have no control over the contempt of court, right? That's something else, because he has a $3,200 bond for that.
Is there a contempt of court that I missed? We don't have that information.
She's on. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Dennis joins. Mr. Joines, you've been detained on an allegation of possession of cannabis, sir. I've reviewed the probable cause charging affidavit. I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the case. I'll release you on your own recognizance. Stay in contact with the Office of the Public Defender on a weekly basis.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ashley Kulik. Kulik, you've been detained on an allegation of prostitution. All right, I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Does she qualify? No? Okay. All right, ma'am, I'll reduce bond in the sum of $500, condition that you not return. I'm sorry?
She would like to know if she can be released on her own recognizance, Your Honor. She doesn't
Well, your
have.
prior history indicates that while you have no Florida history, you do have history out of state for false, it looks like personation, disorderly conduct, theft, and other things. So I'm not really inclined to ROR, especially given the nature of the charges. I will reduce it to $500, however. Okay? And I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Again, no return.
Thank you.
Reset.
Defense has no objection to waiving her appearance, Your Honor.
All right, Sierra Mack, I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent her. All right. I have found probable cause. I will stay bond in the sum of $500 with the condition that she not return. Jillian McMurray. I'm reviewing a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with prostitution. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. All right, I do find probable cause. Ma'am, I will straight release you to pretrial release with a condition that you not return to the scene of the offense. Do you understand that? Okay. All right, I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Stay in weekly contact with the Office of the Public Defender.
You can be. I have no objection to resetting him only because he's represented by Leon Cheek in his out of custody cases. So I don't know if Leon Cheek will appear tomorrow.
All right, we'll reset him to tomorrow then.
Tyrion Wesley is a bond.
All right, Tyrion Wesley is a bond. Damian Alston?
No.
So you've been detained on an out-of-county warrant from Hillsborough, as well as, yes, 2 out-of-county warrants from Hillsborough. The issuing magistrates have set bond at 0, and each bond will remain at 0. I apologize, it's 1. All right, anything further?
Your Honor, he's just saying that he doesn't know why the warrant was issued. I don't have that information. Do you have the information as to why? I just know it's Hillsborough County and it's no bond.
Failure to appear for grand theft, 3rd degree. So I don't have much more information than you than that.
Thank you.
Stephanie. Okay. Charnel Parks?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Parks, you've been detained on a out-of-county warrant. Looks like it's out of St. Lucie County. The issuing magistrate did not set bond, so it will remain at no bond.
Shepherd was a bond, Your Honor.
Okay.
Tony.
Derek Tony? All I have on Mr. Tony is this. I couldn't hear you. Just no, okay. Oh, thank you for that. Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Tony, you're being held on a fugitive warrant out of Georgia.
Can we waive the reading of the charges, Your Honor?
I'm sorry?
Waive the reading of the charges if you're going to read the charge.
All right, so you'll be held and be seen by the fugitive warrant team.
Never mind, Your Honor. He said he wants to know what the charge is.
All right. Burglary in the first degree of a sexual nature. That's all it has on here for me, okay?
That's all it is?
That's all I'm seeing.
Same.
Okay, no.
All right, thank you, sir. Keisha Whitfield. Ms. Whitfield, you've been detained on an out-of-county warrant. It's out of Hillsborough. It says it's grand theft, third degree. And the issuing magistrate did not set bond, so it'll remain. Okay, thank you. Stephen Zambrano? Are you Stephen Zambrano? So you've been detained on an allegations of violation of probation. It's out of Broward County. The issuing magistrate has set bond at 0.
Judge,
And-
excuse me, I was also informed that Broward County would not pick up the defendant.
Oh, they will not pick up the defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, tell me more about that. How does that work?
I believe he has to be released if they're not coming to get him within a certain time frame. So if they don't come get him within probably, if I'm not mistaken, like 24 to 48 hours, then he has to be released. Or if
How
you
long has
set a
he been
bond.
detained thus far? Let's see.
I can double check.
Looks like 7/14 is the date of the document. He was booked in on 7/14.
Some form of supervisor.
Okay. Sir, it's your lucky day. Because Broward County's not going to come pick you up. I'm not going to recall this tomorrow, given that they've communicated with her. So I will release you on your own recognizance as to these violations of probation. You need to go to Broward County and get it straightened out with them, sir.
I have a quick question, just so I don't get arrested.
I can't hear you.
Just,
Speak up.
I've been told that I would get arrested again if I bond out. I've been out of trouble for a good 7 years. I violated one time.
I've released you on your own recognizance as to these two. So if you get picked up again, it'll be something else.
I have a question. Is there any like paperwork that he'll receive that shows that, I guess his concern is that he doesn't want to be
I don't
picked
know.
up again. Is there paperwork that he's going to receive once he's released?
Paperwork before they're released, do you know? I don't know. I would assume you'll get some paperwork, sir. If you don't, then you might want to ask booking and release if there is some paperwork that they can give you. But I'm releasing you on your own recognizance. That's all I can tell you on this, okay? All right, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Jack Thomas Clark.
Your Honor, this case was reset from yesterday. There is a plea. I just need to go over the offer with him in regards to this plea.
What is the offer?
It's adjudication of guilt and credit for time served.
All right, so let's have him go in the back, and
Okay.
let me take care of the rest of them.
No problem.
Okay? So we'll recall Mr. Clark.
They're gonna
Victor Suarez?
Oh,
Your Honor, this is the reset for PC. I emailed a copy of the supplement, but I have a physical copy if you would like it.
Yes, if you would, please. Yes.
the trafficking, you don't have a bond. It's set for 24 hours so that they can get more information. We got the bond.
Just for the court's information, the issue is that the affidavit did not state with whether or not the pills were tested or confirmed their identity through any other method.
All right, thank you. All right, defense, do you have any further PC argument?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, state your name.
Suarez.
All right, sir, I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit. If you find probable cause, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you if they have not been previously. I'm going to stay the bonds as were previously suggested, and that is count one, $50,000. Count two. Well, the officer's now recommending 150 on count two. All right, I'll go along with it. $150 on count 2, 3, 4, and 5, since that's the officer's recommendation.
But you have.
She stayed them all yesterday?
She goes to sit in her.
Adam McGinnis?
Your Honor, the bonds on the supplemental reports, they auto-populate and they change the underlying felonies, the lower amounts to the 150s automatically.
All right, but Madam Clerk is pointing out that Judge McGinnis stayed bonds in counts 2 through 5 yesterday. So I'm going to follow Judge McGinnis's previous order, retract what I just said. Count 2 will be 15,000, count 3, 15, count 4, 4,000, and count 5, 15. With respect, however, to count 1, given that these bonds are going to be stayed, I'm going to set that bond at $20,000.
Your Honor, do you have any objection to reducing the bond amount? Based on his criminal history, he has limited criminal history. He only has 1 misdemeanor conviction. So do you have any objection to putting the bond at $20,000 in regards to count 1 and counts 2 through 5 as 150?
No, I won't do 2 through 5 as 150. What I will do for him is I will, instead of 20,000 on count 1, I'll make it to 10. 10 on count 1 as opposed to 20. The bonds are stated with respect to the remaining counts, as I previously stated.
Okay.
You will not be in possession of any firearms, any ammunition. You will not be in possession of any drugs that are not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician. Give me a moment. Do you have any reason, sir, to go to 2338 Section Drive in Apopka?
Do I have any reason to?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, that's where my parents stay. If
that's where your parents live?
you don't want me to go there, I won't go there, but.
I'm not gonna, if that's where your parents live, I'm not gonna make it a prohibition. All right, thank you, sir. Giamari Tubbs?
Yes, ma'am. Bobby?
And do you have a relative by the name of Bobby Tubbs?
No. I am Bobby Tubbs. Ma'am.
Then state, why does the probable cause charging affidavit has listed as co-defendants Bobby Tubbs? 2 times 2. Maybe it's just some error?
I'm trying to find the face sheet. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Sometimes when there's aliases, they will list them as a co-defendant.
Oh, okay.
Sure, that's the case here. I do see that his aliases are Bobby Tubbs and Robert Tubbs.
Okay.
It also came in as 3 separate cases for the state, so maybe he marked them as co-defendants so that it would stay together in the system. My best assumption.
All right, so this is, help me out here, violation of probation in the one that I'm reading. And then the other one is littering, right? And then there's one for possession of drugs without a prescription. So when I read the probable cause charging affidavit, I don't know if they're all the same. I haven't compared them. It looks like they probably are. Yeah, they're all the same. It basically says that he came into the mobile home park in his unmarked vehicle. And saw this guy, this defendant, untying items from the trailer. Trying to stop him for window tint. The defendant allegedly became angry or agitated. Found out he was on felony probation for trafficking in heroin. So he saw him litter and decides he's going to arrest him for litter. Or he's going to detain him for litter. Puts him in the back of his patrol car. Calls a towing service. Starts an inventory search. And then while conducting the inventory search, locates a bag with some pills in it, which is the nexus to the possession of drugs without a prescription. So. I'm going to point the office of the public defender, but I can tell you, the state, you need to take a look at this. This is more contempt of cop than anything else, it looks like to me. There's a reasonable enough nexus to a violation of probation that I will find probable cause, as well as the other 2. But I'm going to ROR them as to all 3. Sir, I want you to report to your probation officer
Yes, ma'am.
within 24 business hours of your
Yes,
release
yes.
from incarceration.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And I'll appoint the office of the public defender to represent you. Thank you.
number. No, release.
All right, we have Jennifer Valdez. Hi, Ms. Valdez. Ms. Valdez, there's an allegation that you failed to report to probation, and your probation officer, Dams, indicated that you were to report on April the 26th at 11 a.m., and that you failed to report. So they went ahead and found a violation based on that. Also, they indicated that you failed to do your weekly phone reports for the week of March the 27th. You failed to complete your community service hours, and that you failed to attend the T4C program and were discharged unsuccessfully. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. The issuing judge, Judge Strobridge, did set a bond at none, so I'm not going to disturb that, but you can apply to her for any bond, okay? All right, thank you, ma'am. Christopher Cooper. Sir, there is a probable cause charging affidavit that alleges indecent conduct. I am going to find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the case. I'm going to leave bond at $500, and I'm also going to require that you not return to this target, okay? All right, thank you. Taisha Hadley. Amari Reed. All right, that brings us back to Mr. Clark, Jack Clark.
Yes, he reviewed it, Your Honor. I just want to go over it with him one more time.
Okay. I have never been here this late. Sorry. Mr. Clark, please raise your right hand to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me your name.
Jack Thomas Clark.
All right, Mr. Clark. Did you read this plea form?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you sign it freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, what are the negotiations?
An adjudication of guilt, Your Honor, and credit for time served.
Is that what you want to do, sir? Enter this plea knowing that that's the sentence that you'll receive and it'll go on your record?
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone threatening you, pressuring you, forcing you to do so?
No, they did not.
All right, sir, I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to the time that you've served in jail, impose court costs, and reduce those court costs to a civil judgment against you. You do have 30 days to appeal if you wish to do so. It's got to be filed in writing, and if you could not afford an attorney, sir, one will be appointed to represent you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
No, I don't want to employ defeated, but thank you, Rich, as a friend of the court. All right. So tomorrow, let's try and get out by 2. 2, that'll be our target. 2 o'clock tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. All right, anything further? You need me to sign anything else?